Monday, July 17th, 2023, evening edition. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated video. Good evening, dear viewers. I'm your AI-generated news anchor, Zephyr 3000. Thank you for tuning in. I will be assisted in summarizing the headlines by my valued AI-generated colleagues. In today's news, drugs create gold rush demand. Over-the-counter birth control pill explained. Mother and son die from rat-borne virus. Hollywood strikes may collapse industry. Dolly Parton jokes about retiring, and much more. But first, this day in history.
This day in history. July 17th, 1429. 100 Years' War. Charles VII of France is crowned the King of France in the Reims Cathedral after a successful campaign by Joan of Arc. July 17th, 1453. Battle of Castillon. The last battle of the 100 Years' War. The French under Jean Bureau defeat the English under the Earl of Shrewsbury, who was killed in the battle in Gascony.
Today's obituaries. Luigi Bettazzi, 99, Italian Roman Catholic prelate, Pact of the Catacombs, Auxiliary Bishop of Bologna, 1963-1966, and Bishop of Ivrea, 1966-1999. Here's a summary of Luigi Bettazzi's Wikipedia page. Luigi Bettazzi, an Italian prelate of the Catholic Church, passed away at the age of 99. He was a participant in the Second Vatican Council and one of the original signatories of the Pact of the Catacombs. Bettazzi served as the Bishop of Ivrea from 1966 to 1999. Jane Birkin, 76, English-French singer, Je t'aime, moi non plus, and actress, La Piscine, Evil Under the Sun. Here's a summary of Jane Birkin's Wikipedia page. British-French singer and actress Jane Birkin enjoyed a successful career, particularly in French cinema. She gained fame for her partnership with Serge Gainsbourg and appeared in films such as Blow Up and Death on the Nile. Birkin also had a successful solo career as a singer and starred in the short film La Femme et le TGV. She lived in France and had 3 children, including actress Charlotte Gainsbourg. Birkin also lent her name to the famous Hermès Birkin handbag. Elise Finch, 51, American meteorologist. Here's a summary of Elise Finch's Wikipedia page. Elise Finch, a television meteorologist at CBS New York City affiliate WCBS, passed away on July 16, 2023, at a local hospital. She had previously worked at various television stations throughout her career. Harry Frankfurt, 94, American philosopher. Here's a summary of Harry Frankfurt's Wikipedia page. Harry Gordon Frankfurt was an American philosopher known for his contributions to ethics and philosophy of mind. He argued that caring plays a central role in philosophy, as it reflects a person's character and determines what they see as important. Frankfurt also discussed the distinction between bullshitting and lying in his popular book, On Bullshit. Funny-Sidey, 23, American thoroughbred racehorse, Colic. Here's a summary of Funny-Sidey's Wikipedia page. Funny-Sidey, an American thoroughbred champion racehorse, won the 2003 Kentucky Derby and Preakness Stakes, becoming the first New York-bred horse to win the Kentucky Derby. He remained a fan favourite in retirement at the Kentucky Horse Park. Angelo Mozilo, 84, American banker and financial CEO, Countrywide Financial. Here's a summary of Angelo Mozilo's Wikipedia page. Angelo R. Mozzillo, former CEO of Countrywide Financial, played a significant role in the subprime mortgage crisis. He was charged with insider trading and securities fraud and settled with the SEC for $67.5 million. Several politicians, including Christopher Dodd, received favourable mortgage financing from Mozzillo's company. Ricky Rivero, 51, Filipino actor. Do Re Mi, Petrang Caballo, Yorme, the Isco Domagoso story, and director. Here's a summary of Ricky Rivero's Wikipedia page. Ricky Salvador. Rivero, a Filipino actor and director, had a successful career in the entertainment industry. He appeared in various TV shows and films and also directed several television productions. Rivero was openly gay and sadly passed away at the age of 51 after battling health issues, including 2 strokes.
On the brighter side, look who's celebrating their birthday today.
July 17, 1531. Antoine de Crequi Canapel, Roman Catholic cardinal, died 1574.
July 17, 1499. Maria Salviati, Italian noblewoman, died 1543. Here's a summary of Maria Salviati's Wikipedia page. Maria Salviati was a noblewoman from Florence who married Giovanni della Bandinere and became the mother of Cosimo de' Medici. She played a key role in getting her son elected as the next Duke of Florence. Maria also looked after her grandchildren, including Bia de' Medici, who tragically died at a young age. There is a famous portrait of Maria with her granddaughter, which has sparked debate among art historians. Maria's descendants went on to become important figures in Europe. Additionally, Maria had an influence on medicine through her involvement in daily care routines and decision-making.
July 17, 1695, Christian Karl Reinhardt of Leiningen, Doxburg, Falkenberg, Heidisch-Eim, died 1766.
July 17, 1714. Alexander Gottlieb Baumgarten, German philosopher and academic, died 1762.
July 17th, 1949. Geezer Butler, English bass player and songwriter. Here's a summary of Geezer Butler's Wikipedia page. Geezer Butler, former bassist and primary lyricist of Black Sabbath, has had a successful career in the music industry. He has also performed with other bands and released solo albums.
And now on to today's news.
Business news.
Prolonged Hollywood strikes could lead to an absolute collapse of an entire industry, says IAC Chair Diller, CNBC. AI summary of this story. AI summary of this story. IAC and Expedia Chairman Barry Diller warns that the ongoing strikes by the Writers and Screen Actors Guilds in Hollywood could have devastating effects on the industry if not resolved soon. Diller suggests that top executives and actors take pay cuts to address pay disparities and proposes a settlement deadline of September 1st. He also expresses concerns about the impact of artificial intelligence on the publishing industry and calls for AI companies to develop a fair business model for using copyrighted work. Diller believes that litigation and sensible legislation are necessary to protect copyright.
Opill cost coverage over-the-counter birth control pill explained, USA Today. AI summary of this story. AI summary of this story. The FDA has approved the first birth control pill to be sold over-the-counter without a prescription in the U.S. The pill, called Opill, uses the synthetic hormone progestin to prevent pregnancy. However, concerns have been raised about cost, access, and the potential reduction in opportunities for sex education and reproductive care. The availability of Opill without a prescription may increase access to contraception, particularly for those who lack easy access to health care. However, it may also lead to patients skipping regular checkups and missing opportunities for sexual health education and testing for sexually transmitted infections. It is important to consult a healthcare provider to determine if Opill is the right choice for an individual.
Science news.
Fossil hunter spots 450,000-year-old mammoth tusk while at quarry, sticking out like a sore thumb. New York Post. AI summary of this story. AI summary of this story. A 450,000-year-old mammoth tusk was discovered by a fossil hunter in Cambridgeshire, England. The tusk, believed to belong to a steppe mammoth, was found intact and is being preserved and examined at a paleontology museum. The The museum is also working on analyzing other fossil finds, including a dinosaur skeleton. The museum aims to educate the public about paleontology and attract more paleontologists in the future.
Long-lived fungi have evolved a way to cheat death for centuries. Science alert. AI summary of this story. AI summary of this story. Researchers at Wageningen University in the Netherlands have discovered a new hypothesis explaining why certain types of fungi do not accumulate life-limiting mutations. The filaments of mushroom-forming fungi have two separate nuclei, each containing half of a full set of chromosomes. Only in the gills of mushrooms do the nuclei fuse together to reproduce. Mutations in either nucleus prevent fusion and reduce the ability to make spores. The researchers suggest that these fungi use a special type of cell division called a clamp connection to screen against selfish mutants and live long lives without accumulating too many genetic faults. This study provides insights into the mechanisms that allow organisms to prevent the development of cancer.
Bizarre ancient sea creature brings evolution mystery to the surface. Ars Technica. AI summary of this story. AI summary of this story. The article discusses the evolution of tunicates, filter-feeding invertebrates that are believed to be the closest relatives to vertebrates. A recently discovered 500-million-year-old fossil, Megasiphon thylacos, provides insights into the evolution of tunicates and their relationship to vertebrates. The fossil suggests that fundamental components of the modern tunicate body plan were established shortly after the Cambrian explosion. The fossil also supports the hypothesis that tunicates started out as sessile organisms. Tunicates belong to the phylum Chordata, just like humans, and studying them can help unravel the origins of vertebrates.
Health news.
Drugs like Ozempic created a gold rush. These drug makers want in. The Wall Street Journal. AI summary of this story. AI summary of this story. According to analysts, weight loss drug companies have raised or made deals worth over $1.4 billion.
Mother and son in Arizona die from rat-borne virus that kills 1 in 3 patients who catch it. Daily Mail. AI summary of this story. AI summary of this story. A mother and her son from Arizona died after contracting hantavirus, a deadly virus carried by rats. The mother experienced symptoms for a week before succumbing to the illness, while the son collapsed and died within 3 days. Hantavirus is transmitted through contact with rodent feces and can cause severe respiratory symptoms. It is important to be aware of other diseases during a pandemic.
The one dinner food you should avoid at all costs because it's actually so bad for your heart, cardiologists say she finds. AI summary of this story. AI summary of this story. Hot dogs are a major offender when it comes to heart health. Each hot dog contains a high amount of fat, sodium, and carbohydrates, posing a risk to your overall health. The processed nature of hot dogs also increases the risk of cancer and cardiovascular problems. It is recommended to limit intake and choose lean meats and plant-based proteins instead.
A poem about today's health news. Now a poem about today's health news. In lands of current age and modern charm, where news doth spread like wildfire, swift and warm, a tale of drugs like Ozempic, we behold creating gold rush, drug makers so bold. The Wall Street Journal shares this tale with glee, for profits beckon, they can now foresee. The weight of fortune sways these seeking hands to grasp the riches from these wonderlands. But midst this rush, a virus creeps with might. In Arizona's heat, shadowed by the night, a rat-borne doom, a perilous disease, 1 in 3 patients find no sweet release. The Daily Mail doth bear this tragic news. A mother and her son, life's ties they lose, their souls consumed by this relentless plight. A sombre tale that brings tears to our sight. And among these tales caution takes its place, for hearts are dear, a precious saving grace she finds does warn of one dinner's cruel snare. An enemy to hearts is found lurking there, Cardiologists advise with grave concern, avoid this food that makes their hearts yearn, for hidden danger lies within its taste. A warning sounded, let it not go to waste. Thus, in the style of Shakespeare's timeless verse, we find a world of news that can immerse, from drugs and gold rush to deaths and caution's plea, our fragmented world is brought to thee.
Entertainment news.
Taylor Swift's re-recorded Speak Now debuts at #1 on Billboard 200 with 2023's biggest week, Billboard. AI summary of this story. AI summary of this story. Taylor Swift's re-recorded album, Speak Now, Taylor's version, debuts at #1 on the Billboard 200 chart, earning her 12th #1 album and surpassing Barbra Streisand for the most #1 albums among women. The album sold 716,000 equivalent album units in its first week, making it the biggest week for any album in 2023. Swift also has 4 albums in the top 10 simultaneously, a feat that hasn't been accomplished since 1966.
Country singer Jason Aldean ends concert early after suffering heat stroke on stage. CBS News. AI summary of this story. AI summary of this story. Country singer Jason Aldean will reschedule a concert after suffering from heat stroke on stage. Aldean experienced a combination of dehydration and heat exhaustion during the performance in Hartford, Connecticut, where temperatures reached 89 degrees. The show will be rescheduled, and Aldean is reported to be doing well.
Dolly Parton jokes she'll hopefully drop dead in the middle of a song someday before she ever retires. CNN. AI summary of this story. AI summary of this story. Country music icon. Dolly Parton has no plans to retire, stating that she wants to keep her dreams alive. She is set to release her new album, Rockstar, and is inspired by her induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Parton also has aspirations for her own TV network and plans to release a book titled Behind the Seams, My Life in Rhinestones.
A poem about today's entertainment news, now a poem about today's entertainment news. Fair Taylor Swift, with voice renewed, her re-recorded songs debut upon the charts, she reigns supreme, #1 her great esteem. And in the realm of country's might, Jason Aldean, under stage lights, in heat's embrace, he did succumb, ended his concert, overcome. But Dolly Parton, full of jest, shall sing until her final rest, she jokes, with twinkle in her eye, her song shall be her last goodbye. Oh, news abound of stars so bright, in triumph, struggle and delight, their melodies enchant us all, their tales resound both great and small.
Now a silly joke or two to lighten the mood after all the heavy stuff.
Cosmetic surgery used to be such a taboo subject. Now you can talk about Botox and nobody raises an eyebrow. I tried taking some high-resolution photos of local farmland, but they all turned out a bit grainy. I was going to learn how to juggle, but I didn't have the balls.
I hope you enjoyed today's artificial intelligence-generated news digest, AGNDD. For more, please like, subscribe, hit the bell button to activate notifications. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.